We have a lot of new goodies from Tom Ford out there, but besides the new ones, we also have some reinvented products, and I'm about to show you which ones they are. We have the new Shade and Illuminate Contour Duo. It's $90, and same thing as the OG one that of course I have right here because we have to compare them. The new one, it's also made in Canada. I have the old one in the shade Intensity 3, which is the darkest one, and I've been obsessed with this since day one. This is one of the most underrated contour products ever. This is just that no effort needed, incredible, easy to use type of product. Before, all the shades basically used to come with the same highlighter, and if it wasn't the same, it was super similar, which is this clear transparent type of situation, and then the darker shade was different. One thing that I did notice when I was in the store is that these new shades run a little darker than the old ones, because I have the old one in Intensity 3, which is this one, and there was no way for me to get Intensity 3 in the new one because it's just way too dark. So have that in mind. In case you have the old one, make sure that if you're gonna pick the new ones, you have to get a lighter shade. We have 4 shades available. They all look beautiful. They're definitely not the same as before, especially when it comes to the highlighters. This is a little bit more unique. I love the fact that all the highlighters are different from each other. I'm liking this a little bit more. I got mine in Intensity 2. It comes with the same, you know, packaging, same color, same little velvety pouch that I always tell you don't throw it away. You're gonna use this to clean this. The only difference when it comes to packaging between the new one and the old one is that on the new one you get the logo right in the center, which it looks a little more luxe. We have the whole same deal in the back. The name did change a little bit, and on the new one we get a little bit more product. We have 15 grams. The old one came with 14 grams. So let me show you this beauty right here. You see that is totally not the same at all. Look at that. I mean, not even the contour shade looks the same. I mean, they're not the same shade, but you see how this one is Intensity 3 and this one is Intensity 2, and this looks pretty dark. Intensity 3 is gonna be bomb if you're like rich, deep skin complexion, but for me, it looks scary. One thing that I am noticing right here is that the contour shade right here, this new one, looks a little bit reddish in my opinion. It might be because of the reflection of the highlighter, because this is also like a pinky, reddish type of like vibe, but I don't know. Hopefully it doesn't look like that on the skin. Let's swatch the old one first. See, that's deep and the highlighter is really pearlescent. So this is Intensity 3 in the OG. Even though this looks dark after you blend it, it's beautiful. To me, this is like no struggle. You don't have to be fighting with color payoff. You only have to apply a little bit of this. It gives a lot of depth. Then now let's see what's up with this new one. That is the highlighter. Oh, that's pretty. Look at the highlighter shade. See how I got a little bit of peachy, pinky. Oh, that's gonna look so stunning on the skin. Also, if you don't like your contour shade too dark for whatever reason, and you're my skin complexion or lighter, of course, you can also get Intensity 1. I know Intensity 1 would have shown my skin complexion perfectly, and it still would have looked beautiful. I choose this one because this is just a little bit more unique. I don't have nothing that look like this in my collection, and we don't get a lot of this shade in other highlighters. Intensity 1 looks a lot like this one. I can't even explain you how creamy this formulation is. Here you have the highlighter. Yes. And here you have the contour shade. That is super freaking dark. You see what I mean? I'm saving you right now. Because if you want this, you're gonna have to go with Intensity 1, like I just told you before. See that? Okay, we're gonna have to use very little bit of this product, which, I mean, in the brighter side, it's better because we're gonna waste less product. See what I mean though? These new shades definitely run darker. I mean, Intensity 3, it's a pinch lighter than this one, for sure. And this red undertone though, fuck, it's killing me. When it comes to formula, of course, the new one feels a little softer, a little creamier because it's new. One thing that I do see and feel is that the new one dries down faster and more like powdery, satiny. The old one, it's a little bit more glowy. I mean, you see it right there. Before I was gonna do half and half, old and new, but what's the point of that? You cannot get your hands on the old one no more, so it's just this. This is the one that we're gonna use. I'm gonna put it out like this. If you already have the old one, you really don't need the new one, or at least use this one first and then repurchase the new one. Or if you already have the OG one, then you're about to see how this new one looks, and then you figure it out if you want it or not. Of course, we're gonna be using my Tom Ford 04 brush because this is just the one for this. I do have my foundation, my concealer, and I only set my under eye, so there's no powder nowhere else. I'm gonna pick up a very little bit of the contour shade. Babe, you have to make sure that you don't go ham with this shade or you're gonna have a hard time. I'm gonna apply a little right here. I use whatever I have left for my forehead. I'm gonna start with a little bit, and if I need more, then I apply more. And if you know that when it comes to blending cream products, this is it. And if you don't have it still, you're totally missing out. This is a 65 brush from Scott Barn, and it's the best thing for you to blend your contour. Like, this is just like, oh, it does the job for you. Look at that. And then when it comes to your cheekbones, you see the shape, like it falls, look, right where it's supposed to be. See, that's the problem. I am gonna need more, because this, even though it looks intimidating in the pan, because it is extremely blendable and it melts into the skin, look, seamlessly. This new formula is reinvented with treated pigments and a cream to satin formula for a flawless contour. Even after I apply more, it's not too dark for me. I'm happy about that. It's not looking reddish like it did before in the pan, and it's giving the perfect depth. Oh, I'm loving it. Look at the dimension. This is with and without. And if I want to get extra and intense, which I always do, I can even apply more. And no, I'll take back whatever I was saying about the shades before. If you're my skin complexion, intensity 2, this one is perfect. Because intensity 1, after you blend it, is going to be too light. It looks glowy, but not too glowy. I love the natural finish, and I really enjoy how lightweight and creamy the formula is. Now with the 125 brush from Fenty Beauty, I'm going to pick up a little bit of the light shade to enhance the high points, or you can just mix them up to warm up your overall complexion. I apply a little bit right here on the highest points of my cheeks. It's already given. The more you apply, the more like intense it gets, but still looks natural. Wow, this highlighter is gonna look chef kiss on bare skin. Before we move to the other product, this, yes, 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10. I totally recommend. You need it in your life. This is the other reinvented product, the shade and Illuminating Highlighted Duo. Same price, $90, and it's also made in Canada. And it also comes in 4 stunning ash shades. And I picked up the shade Peach Light. In my opinion, this is the best shade. Also really light nude light, but this is just like a regular champagne highlighter, and in person it looks even more regular. And the other 2 shades, if you have a dark deep skin complexion, baby, they're gonna look yummy. Okay, so let's put this on the face. What I really like about this is that you can use the darker shade as blush or blush topper, and then the lightest shade as highlighter, or again, mix them up for like an all-over glow. I got to swatch them. Oh, they feel creamy, soft. Oh, yes. Oh my gosh. Look at the darker shade. That really gave us one swipe. illumination. And look how much more I have right here on my fingers. It is really pigmented. This is a pressed formula, and same thing as the Contour Duo. It is infused with botanical oils, vitamin E. It is super blendable. I'm gonna use a bigger brush for the darker shade and then something a little smaller for the highlighter. This brush is from Wayne Gash. I see it already. See that? It's more peachy than pinky up. Duh, it's supposed to peach light. Okay. Beautiful radiancy. Wow. I cannot complain. And the formula of these products, they definitely made the skin look better. Lower the lights so you can see how it looks without the lights flashing down on it. Now with the F06 from Sigma, I'm gonna go into the lightest shade. First, I'm gonna apply a little bit right here on my nose. Oh, boom, 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 boom. It's blinding. Same as the Contour Duo, it is infused with botanical oils, vitamin E. It's really blendable, and it's supposed to give the payoff of a liquid highlighter, which I totally agree. I mean, it's not the most blinding, booming, intense highlighter that I have in my collection, or the, you know, it's out there. But I'm loving the fact that it's not sitting on top of the skin. It melted in. And it looks flawless, beautiful. The more you apply, the more you get, which is good because you can play with it for those days that you don't really want to, you know, blind people. You can just go in lightly, and then when you want to be out there, just apply a lot. This is with and without it, that glow is real. And the shade, it's on point. It's not too peachy or too pinky, but at the same time, it's not too regular like all the highlighters that we have. And you don't need blush if you're using this. It's given the perfect hint of color with the most beautiful luminosity. You don't need blush if you're using this because it's given the most beautiful hint of color, and there's no visible chunks of freaking glitter or sparkles. So if you have textured skin or you suffer from acne, you're really gonna like this formula. Tom Ford did it again. Beautiful products, and don't forget to let me know in the comment section down below, what do you think about these products? Do you like them? You don't like them? Which one is your favorite? And I love you to the moon and back. Mwah! See you on the next one.